Minor spoilers, it's almost all out of context, but you're going to be seeing scenes that haven't been animated yet. Ow! Hey everybody, Tripl-L here, and welcome to Pair Spotlight, where we talk about a pair of characters, how they work, and why people seem to like the idea of them so much. This time we're tackling the very requested Ochako and Bakugo. So, friends, in this world there's two types of people, the ones who the idea of this pairing is terrifying to, and the people who totally want this to happen and will ship it at any opportunity they get. So, in this video, we're going to sit down, we're going to understand what people see in this, what's fueling them, and the interpretations of the characters that they are ultimately arguing for in order to make this pairing work. This pairing is going to be interesting in the sense that I'm coming at it in an angle that's, I think, a bit more critical, mostly because of Bakugo's behavioral problems. Because for this pairing, it's not so much that the naysayers say it's impossible, the implausibility is not their main argument, but rather, if this did happen, Ochako would be in danger. Their concern for Ochako is the main thing, or at least one of the big reasons that keeps them away from it. On a smaller note, this is one of the cool things about having you guys comment so much. This response is one that I've sampled from the YouTube commenters. So this concern, it is correct within this audience on YouTube. At least for the people who do comment, if you have made your opinion known. So anyway, the fundamental concepts that fuel this pair are respect and understanding. If you are engaged in actual discussion with hard supporters of this pairing and they're not focusing on the frivolous reasons such as, oh, they'd be so cute together, or oh, it'd just be so funny, or oh, their uniforms were made by the same person, you will undoubtedly encounter either or both of these concepts at the heart of their argument. And also interestingly, the respect is coming from Bakugo's side and the understanding aspect is coming from Ochako's side. So let's start getting into the nitty gritty now. We all saw what really triggered this ship. It was again the sports festival, the launcher of 100 ships festival in other words. Bakugo and Ochako's fight resonated with a lot of people because it was a fight where some got really invested with Ochako's drive and some really liked the persona that Bakugo showed for it. When you have feelings already being inspired in viewers, you're pretty much greasing the wheels for people wanting to see more of the characters that inspired those feelings in them. Now we've seen the fight, we saw the interactions, but there was a quality that Bakugo showed, and it was made more prominent because of the fact that there was only really one other person in that stadium at the time who was positive and vocal about that quality. It was specifically when Bakugo kept taking Ochako seriously, whereas the majority of the audience was heckling him, where there were members who were telling him to take it easy on Ochako because, as we could easily infer, they assumed she was weaker than him. Now, truthfully, this is a moment I totally want to dissect because there's so much that can be said about Aizawa, Bakugo, and the tricks that the author was pulling in order to make the viewers kind of like jump on it. But that's for another day if you guys want it. The main thing that we should take away from this is that this situation gave rise to rhetoric such as, he's the only one who took her seriously, he acknowledged her strength, Ochako showed him that she was more than he thought, he recognized that she wasn't weak. That type of rhetoric, it's passionate. When you have these type of distinctions where it seems like only a small number of people see the value in someone, just by the virtue that a minority sees it, in this case Bakugo, it makes that minority seem all the more prominent in a person's mind. At that point, Bakugo had something special associated to him, something that makes him stand out from the rest of the crowd. And for a lot of supporters of this ship, it got its climax when Bakugo called Ochako by her name, Uraraka. And some of you might think, well, wait, what's the big deal? Well, the thing is, this is kind of a trait that's exclusive to Bakugo, that being that he doesn't really bother with people's names if he can help it. Ochako being called by name was a big win for the fans of the pair, friendly or romantic. And to get the point across to you, I tried to look for some nicknames. I could not find as much as I hoped there would be, but let's just keep in mind, Bakugo at the tamest level calls people idiots, and he does this pretty often. The only people he reliably doesn't call idiots are the teachers or pretty much anyone in a position of authority. And for his classmates, it depends whether or not you have his respect. So aside from just him calling almost everyone idiots, we have other choice names like for Izuku we have Deku, of course. For Todoroki we have Ice Guy and Two-Face, although now he calls Todoroki by his name because he respects that Todoroki is strong. Ojiro gets called Tail Boy, we saw that in chapter 73 page 9. Momo gets called Ponytail Bitch after she criticized Bakugo one time, and Kirishima, hair for brains, but thankfully Kirishima was very quick to learn how to talk in Bakugo's language and get Bakugo to respect him. And before Ochako had her moment, she was just called round face. Yeah, Bakugo, the whole naming thing, it's a bigger deal for him when he calls someone by name. Let's leave Bakugo behind, moving on to Ochako. Arguing for her part of the pairing involves bringing up some degree of understanding Bakugo. We've gotten two very prominent examples of this understanding. One was during a story arc that hasn't been animated yet, and the other was during a side chapter that was released with the official data book. The first incident, I'll be a little bit vague with it. I want to at least make the people who are braving the spoilers not be too spoiled. Anyway, with that moment, Ochako made an observation about Bakugo, and then when Izuku ultimately had to act, he called back to what Ochako said, and he just agreed with it. Now, at that point, the claim that Ochako understands Bakugo on a different level in a different way that Izuku does, it gained a lot of credibility with this event. What you have here is ultimately this girl's observation on another is what clinched the victory at the most crucial moment. That kind of thing sticks in people's minds a lot more. On the note of the side chapter, and just very quickly to let you guys know, I know that I have read this chapter before officially. I'm pretty sure I read it on Manga Stream, but I could not find the chapter again. Unfortunately, because of that, any pictures I have on screen, they're going to be in a native language. But thankfully, someone very kind on Tumblr did a rough translation on it, and I am sourcing that. I'll have the link down below, but thanks to that person who has that Tumblr. Anyway, in this old side chapter, Ochako pretty much does an analysis on Bakugo in an effort of trying to get him and Izuku to make up. Also throwing in that she thinks he's cool. I gotta throw in that little bit there because that's important for the topic of why people like them together. Anything like that always works. Anyway, again, this moment really becomes a big one for Ochako and Bakugo because Ochako is the only student to understand Bakugo to a degree that she can confront him and challenge him on his behavior. One note though is that what Ochako's saying isn't anything new. The teachers Aizawa and All Might have already said those points first, but the value here is that the teachers are supposed to know the problems that Bakugo and Deku have. Ochako agreeing with the teacher's assessment just tell us, the readers, that she is correct in her assessment. It means her observations are on point, thus lending credibility to the statement Ochako understands Bakugo in a way most others don't. So those are pretty much the basic dynamics of the Bakugo and Ochako in terms of their interactions, and it's what the ship was founded on. Mind you, we could go and pick out every little interaction like we did with Ojiro and Hagakure, like pointing out that Ochako is aware of Bakugo's incredible skills with a knife and a carrot, but we don't really need that because the ship actually has a legitimate theme to it. The extra interactions are just a spice to accentuate the main dish. Oh man, if this was a Shokugeki no Soma video, that would have been a great metaphor. Damn it. Anyway, moving on, let's now address some of the interpretations that the fandom is creating in order to make this ship work. And this is interesting in that a lot of the interpretations of the Bakugo and Ochako pairing involve Bakugo behaving differently. Specifically, the fandom seems to be creating a dynamic where you have the tough guy being nicer to his girlfriend than he is with everyone else, and then deriving some kind of sense of adorableness or cuteness from that dynamic. Now, this idea of exceptions, Bakugo being nice to Ochako and no one else, goes along well with the theme of Ochako and Bakugo's dynamics in that they have exclusive insight on the other person. So I'll give it a point there, but truthfully, I'm in no position to judge this interpretation of the ship beyond being able to say that it's interesting how far people will go to legitimize this. The value being here, to what degree do you have to change Bakugo in order to make this work? And this really is the crux of the matter. Bakugo has serious behavioral problems, but he's most likely going to mellow out of them if he gets the right guidance. And it's probably going to be his series-long character arcs, truthfully. For this ship, you also have the possibility of arguing that Ochako can help him grow, and that's really just a hook for people already invested in the character to latch onto, to give them a commonality for them to have their interactions based on. But this idea of Ochako helping him grow, it is within the realm of possibility since we are already seeing it happening, specifically as we see it in the side chapter. And on another note, we have already seen that Bakugo does have the capacity to be calm and logical. It's just a matter that he has to learn to keep his outbursts under control, and then he also has to fix his inability to control himself around Izuku and get that under control as well. And who knows, legitimately Ochako could help him out in that regard. No one else is doing what Ochako's done in the classroom. Izuku just keeps making the matter worse. Yeah, anyway, let's just move away from that topic. So moving into closing now, some people might make the move to turn them into a pair that makes you want to vomit sugar. Like, it's overly cute. The tough guy and the cute girl. But, you know, at the end of the day, is there any precedent for that type of dynamic working? Or at least, is there a grounded variation of that dynamic? And thankfully, there is, although it's a very short interaction that we can sample. So we've got this from chapter 96, Bakugo's parents. So very quickly on the parents, Bakugo takes after his mother, and his dad is much quieter. He's effectively the Ochako of the situation. But with them, we get to see something really nice here. Bakugo's mother does yell and shout much the same way that Bakugo does. They both have such a wonderful sense with words. But she also does this to her husband. She yells at him as well. But the way that she does it is that she's reprimanding him to do better. Effectively telling him, in the one scenario, if you're gonna talk, make sure we can hear you. So in a way, it's like dysfunctional but positive reinforcement. So if there was ever gonna be a dynamic that Bakugo and Ochako would adopt in a romantic setting, it's probably one where Bakugo still yells occasionally, he still has his outbursts, but he's yelling things like stop worrying, you're fine, or something else that's nice, or something. I think if you're hoping for a romantic dynamic for them at the very least, your best bet is to follow the example set by Bakugo's parents. After all, kids mimic what they know. So yeah, Bakugo and Ochako, it's a ship that's built from respect and understanding. It's full of dreams, hope, and behavioral correction, and it's got quite a few people riding on it. Truthfully, I'd be okay with it if it happened. Anything that gets Ochako away from Izuku is a-okay in my book, honestly. I really don't care. Just get the girl away from him. Also, on a smaller note, I recently found out that Ochako's birthday is the same as Hinata's from Naruto. I'm not very happy about that. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. This video was, I feel it was a bit more free-flowing because ultimately it was nicer just to talk about, hey, there's this dynamic that's going on and it's based on these concepts. I like the structure of this video a lot. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know if you like this explanation on the Bakugo and Ochako pairing. As for what's coming up next on the channel, people are asking for Bakugo and Kirishima quite a bit. I do not want to do that one yet. I'm still going to wait on it. It might not come for a while. However, the next videos, well, one of them is not really a shipping analysis video. It's more of people have been asking what my personal opinion is on the ships that I've covered and the other ones. So it's going to be specifically a video about that, just talking about what I think about those ships. So it's just going to be an opinion video, just pretty much my personal thoughts on on a lot of the ships that we've covered already and the ones that we haven't covered. And then after that, the next video is going to be the crack pairings. So that one's going to be a bit funnier, I think. I'm gonna aim for it to be funny. I hope you guys enjoy it when it does come out. And beyond that, I'm not really sure. There's Mina and Kirishima's gaining a lot of steam. People are really asking for it in the comments. I might crack and just do that one eventually. Like, we're eventually going to start running out of the pairings from My Hero Academia. So, yeah, it's going to be sad when that happens. Anyway, guys, let me know what other pairings you would like to have talked about in the comments down below. Let me know, yeah, how you're doing and if you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, I hope you have a great day.